This is my statistics project by Celeste Rodriguez. In this project, I will be looking at data involving male teachers. I chose this data set for many reasons. 1, because there's a high demand for teachers nowadays. The second reason I chose this data set is because I am currently studying education. I'm going towards being an elementary teacher. And finally, the third reason I chose this data set is because elementary and secondary ed majors differ in the male category. About 150 to 200 years ago, women never progressed into secondary education. Due to this reason, more men have just automatically been placed or have been promoted to secondary education and teaching higher grade levels. This dataset will also help us determine where the higher demand for male educators is. And there's a number of schools, both primary and secondary, that are in search of good teachers. For my question, I am asking, is there a higher proportion of male elementary teachers versus secondary teachers? For this question, we will assume that P hat 1 is the proportion for elementary teachers and P hat 2 is for secondary. Using the provided data, I have obtained the following information. For elementary, P hat 1 equals 0.0763, with N1 as the total equaling 170,862. P hat 2 for secondary equals 0.3982, with a total N2 equaling 17,125. A couple other information you'll need for this project is P bar, which equals 0.1056, and Q bar equaling 0.8944. For this question, we are using a two-tailed test because the null hypothesis is P1 equals P2, and the alternative to that is P1 does not equal P2. Again, we are using a two-tailed test. We will be using a normal distribution. The degrees of freedom is none. There's no degrees of freedom in this problem. The test value is z equals negative 130.6764, and for our p-value, it equals 0. At alpha equals 0.05, we therefore will reject the null hypothesis. This means that there is enough evidence to show that there is a difference in the proportion of male elementary teachers versus male secondary teachers. If you look off to the right, there's a little bit of a bar graph that shows this comparison. Secondary teachers is a lot higher in number for male teachers than elementary teachers. This concludes my statistics project. Thanks for watching.